Today we're lucky enough, and boy, what an awesome interview we're about to have. So take your notes, take that, rewind it back, rewind again. Take more notes because you're about to hear some nuggets that'll make your head spin. Sorry about that. I have with me Pat Gagliano. What's up, brother?
What's up? Thank you.
Finished Basements, New Jersey, or NJ.
That's
right?
us.
And Pat, by the way, has been in the game for 40 years.
40 years.
So if I looked at the company, and I'm going to keep playing back and forth, how many employees do you have?
So it's a hard number to put on because we're a lot of subcontractors.
GC, yeah.
Yeah. So where we have the structure of the company is intentionally set up this way because the very different between having a company where you have a jack of all trade, master of none. Yeah. Right. Where one guy does it all. And I'm not saying anything bad about that because I was that guy.
It's hard to scale your business when you do that, though.
It is hard to scale. So the way we're set up right now is if you took every step of a basement, you got your framing, you got your electric, you got your plumbing. We have a specialist, a master at every trade that does that.
Okay.
So
that's part of the whole full package.
Yeah, and that's really a benefit for the customers because now they're getting a much better product because now they got a guy that comes in and frames the basement, or our guy, right? But he's coming in. And that's all he does. He doesn't sheetrock, he doesn't spackle, he doesn't do trim. But so he is so good at that craft because that's all he does every day under my direction. And then, customers are always like, wow, when are they coming back? Framing's done? Say goodbye because you never see him again.
And you control all the conversations.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we now have, so it's a long answer to the question of how many employees.
No. We're good.
But then the same goes for the electrician that comes in after and the plumber. So a lot of these guys are supervised by in-house. Some of these trades, as it goes down the line, are in-house, and some are subcontractor. Yep. And we're deep. We're 3 electricians deep, 4 plumbers deep, and you have to be if you want to be able to.
Yeah, because you're working on multiple basements, right?
Oh yeah,
that's what I was saying. How many at one time, typically?
I'm almost afraid to say that because I don't want to scare people away.
Got it. Okay.
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, I got it.
But here's the thing: you can do the math yourself. In order to keep that frame crew busy, they eat a basement about every 3 to 4 days.
Wow.
And they only frame. So that means every 3 to 4 days, they have to have a new job.
So that means 8 frames a month.
Pretty much.
Right?
More.
Or weekends too?
Yeah. So they're eating more than that. But look at it like this. So we look at, we have a timeline for a basement project. And you come in that timeline and you just go down the line from boom, boom, boom.
Do you actually send that to a client?
Yeah. So we do
in
that.
advance?
Yep. We'll send it. We send them a schedule.
And how close are you to hitting that?
Well, there's so many variables with township and inspections.
You went up, by the way, great point. I didn't even think about that because I did get my basement done. I had to go through that. How good are you at that process?
That's probably the hardest part about building the basement.
Do you have a system for that?
We do. And we have in-house now. So the reason we're so successful and we do things so well and we give such a good customer experience is because everything has a system. Everything has a process. Doesn't mean it's flawless by no means. But you do have the system, and if you got to trust the system and you got to follow it, and it will work.
Do you have let's say Rumson? Do you have a relationship there? Fairhaven,
so
Little Silver.
It doesn't work like that. Your relationship. Do I know the building inspector in Freehold for the last 30 years? Is he a great guy? Yeah. Is he going to give me special treatment? Absolutely not.
Not even special treatment though, but more like, okay, we're gonna is it you got to go through the formal steps, right? You got to.
Everybody has to, and everybody's so afraid.
Do you have a speed on how to do that?
Yeah, so everybody's so afraid of doing anything. Nobody wants to get fired, lose their job. But the difference between us, so we know if I get called into whatever, Howell, I know, oh, wow, Howell requires this that the other towns don't require. And this, and their building inspector is tough, or their electrical inspector. So in our office, we know every town in New Jersey, because we permit so many, exactly what needs to be done at certain towns. And we have a permit expediter on staff. So we do that for the homeowners. The homeowners don't even have to know anything about that process, which is probably the best thing when hiring a contractor.
Yeah. So they don't have to go to court. They don't have to be there to get things approved. You do all that.
They do all. All they have to do is write the check.
Not to give any situations, but did you ever have somebody purposely break your balls?
100%.
Legal, within the court system?
I think that we've had a couple situations like that through the years. And it was funny because early on, I was always afraid to, go over their head because, oh my God, I don't want to go over this guy's head because I'm going to be doing more permits in this town and it's going to come after me even harder. And that went on for years that I was like, this guy's really an ass. And it wasn't just me, just a lot of people.
Yeah.
And everybody, not only myself, is afraid to kind of go over his head. Yeah. And then one day I just said, who the fuck is he? Why does he get the opportunity to mistreat us and everybody else? So once I took that step the first time, I realized I should have taken that step a long time ago.
And was it just an ego thing? for
Most of the time.
whatever this person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most of
just
the
to
time.
say no. Like,
Yeah. I had a building inspector one time give me a business card, whatever, it had his company, whatever, township information on the front. And on the back, in parentheses, bold, said God.
oh God.
I'm not making that up. I looked at it and I handed it back to him. I go, I wish I kept it actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, you've got to be kidding me right now.
Yeah.
I said,
Did he want you to see that?
He handed me the card. But he was trying to tell me, like, I make the rules.
I'm God.
Yeah.
Everything
I make
goes
the
through
rules.
me.
And the horrible thing is, there's one unified building code for New Jersey.
Yep.
One. Interpreted differently in every town. And it shouldn't be.
Oh boy.
And that's the biggest problem we're having in New Jersey right now.
Bill Spadia.
I'm telling you, it's a big issue.
He said he's going to do
And
it.
it's fixable, and nobody is addressing this issue. And there's contractors
Sounds
all
like a
over the
Bill
state.
Spadia conversation.
I'm not kidding you. This is it's a big problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. We're so antiquated in New Jersey right now. We're still doing it the way we were doing it 40 years ago. You go outside this state, everything's online, everything's digital. It's actually ridiculous what contractors have to
Now,
go
for
through.
you, do you go New York? Do you go?
No, right
okay.
now we're only in New Jersey. We'll design all over the country.
That's what I'm saying.
Design.
Okay.
But we're not building.
Now, how's the design side of your business?
Greatest thing ever.
And this is is it a new leg?
So we realized, I realized not too long ago that, okay, we can only build so many basements in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
So this business has a limit, so to speak, which I still haven't found that limit yet. Because we're growing, like, again, 4,000 basements in right now.
And they build a new house
every day.
Yeah.
And the old one's got to get remodeled.
Yeah.
So do
you prefer remodel or new build?
I'll do either.
Got it.
Yeah. But I won't come in and rehab a basement from 1970 and fix it up and have a hybrid of 1970 and 2022.
Got it.
I'm not doing that.
Yep.
I used to, and it was always a mistake.
Got it.
It's always a mistake. But where was I going with this? So we were talking.
There's 4,000 basements, but you haven't figured out what the top of it is yet because there's always
the design.
Yeah.
So
and
I
then
said,
we go designs
right,
nationally.
So I say, well, how do I expand myself outside New Jersey? Do I start do a franchise in Pennsylvania and find contractors that do it and deal with all that nightmare out of state? Obviously, no. The answer was, because I have more experience, I feel, than anybody in the country. Literally, I'll challenge anyone.
He's ready. $250,000 bet.
I'll challenge anyone to design more basements than me.
He's coming for you.
I'm ready. So I said, I'm going to start putting it out there and say, hey, I'll come to you. I'll design your basement.
Well, how did you put it though? Like, tell me more
Social
about
media.
That. Okay, so all right, ready? You said you're 57. So 57 understood the value of social media, which is not normal for guys in the 50s, the way you understood it 3 years ago, or even further than that, right?
Yeah, we started my social media at about 50.
So 7 years ago, 2000, whatever, 15, you in doing basements and being able to design understood. How did you know about that?
Nino started it. This is the key, man. Everybody's so quick to, now we're going back. Nino's 26. What was he, 19?
19.
He was 19 years old. Everybody's so quick to dismiss somebody younger, doesn't have the experience. What are you talking about, kid? You don't know what you're talking about.
And you had success when you were young too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know to listen because you don't know where the next thing's coming from.
Innovation. Yeah.
You don't know where it's coming from.
Wow.
And so he said, hey, Dad, we got to get you on social media. Let's open up an Instagram. And I'm like, I don't know how to use that.
And were you doing videos or were you just
I
showing the basements?
I didn't even know how to freaking use it. I was like looking at it. But then I'm listening to him and I'm saying, all right, he's right. And
did you think like Instagram was a drink? I'm going to go get an Instagram.
I swear to you, I had no freaking idea.
I'm going to go get a Facebook.
I had no idea. All I knew was Facebook. And even Facebook was like tough.
Yeah.
So I quickly realized, like, listen, man, if you either going to figure this out or get left behind.
Yeah.
And I start talking to my other contractor friends about it. I'm like, hey, I'm going to open up this Instagram.
They didn't know nothing
and they're
about
like,
it.
what are you talking about, dude? You're 50
That's when you
years
knew it was
old.
right.
And I'm like, we just got to ride it out. We're going to do what we're doing. I'm like, listen, 30 years ago, I was putting ads in church bulletins.
Wow.
Are we doing that anymore? No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to put it in the yellow pages, right? When you made it big, you put the ad in yellow pages. And we're not doing that anymore. Yeah. So times have changed. This is our next evolution.
Yep.
You're just not recognizing it.
Yep.
I am.
Yep.
And so then I became a quick study. And
what was some of your early studying? Like, what did you do?
So right away I started.
Did you read books? Did you watch videos?
No, I can't read.
How did you learn?
I can't read.
Well, do you watch?
I can read a whole page and get to the bottom of the page. I couldn't even tell you what I read.
I got it. Yeah.
My mind just doesn't work that way.
Understood.
Show me a video or I'll watch a YouTube video.
That's what it was.
And I'll be like, I got you.
YouTube University.
The way I really learned, not really. Me, it was trial and error, learning. I would get on a computer. I'd try to figure it out. I'd get on and just kind of get through it myself because I have to physically touch it and do it to learn it.
Got it.
And that's how I learned Instagram.
But what were you doing, videos though, or what were you actually?
YouTube. That's where I started.
Got it.
I started doing videos on YouTube. I look back at those videos now, and they're still up if you want to laugh.
Yeah. Well, give everybody your channel.
So everything is under Finished Basements NJ.
Finished Basement. And by the way, it'll be below. Finished Basements NJ across all platforms.
Yeah.
Check out all his videos. We'll get into the type of basements that you do. But anyone that's not in Jersey, they could benefit from your skill set.
Oh yeah. So we get people all over the country that say, hey, we're obsessed with watching your videos, and we designed our basement based on everything we learned through your channels, which I love.
Yeah.
And that's something I learned from Gary Vee, right? You got to give away something. And that's what I'm giving away all the time.
Yep.
And which gets us back to the design. So I take all that knowledge, all that experience. I meet with the homeowners. I get their wish list, find out what their basement looks like, what they're trying to achieve. I get even deeper than that. I talk about them, their family, how they're going to use it, what interests do they have, what interests do the kids have. So I want to design their basement not only for today, but for the future. And that's what a lot of people make a mistake, and they think they're just doing it for today.
You asked the right questions.
Yeah, well, so I learned this, though, from years of trying. And then I designed a basement based on all that knowledge. And now I'm at the point where I could walk in that basement. I'm not kidding you. In 5 minutes, it's done in my head. Literally. 5 minutes is a long time.
See the finished
I see it finished, and now all I have to do is show it to them.
So if somebody's from Texas right now and you're going to design a basement, do you actually have to fly out there? Or do they send you videos? Like, how does that work?
Depends on, we have different packages, right? And it's actually really affordable. I think maybe too affordable, to be honest with you. When I think about what an architect charges to do a basement, we're going to come in, and in most cases, just did one in Tennessee. Flew out to Nashville. Cool people. What a great time we had. I mean, we just had so much fun. I flew out with Brooke and Nino on this one because we wanted to turn it into a little Nashville vacation.
Yeah.
And we took our wives, and like we just went down and had a great weekend. I say, all right, guys, here we're gonna get paid for this, but the goal is to spend all the money before we get home.
That's fun.
And we legit did that.
Did you spend it all?
We did. Maybe too much, but it was so worth it. We had a great time. The
Family
people were so cool, man. And the three of us designing together was a whole nother level of like what we were delivering.
Got it.
It was new. And then I realized like, wow, man, we're onto something here because, Brooke was like, she's got a real strong personality. And she's like, I'm like, all right, we're going to do this. And we're going to put the gym here and we're going to put the glass doors. And she's like, Dad, what if we did this? And I'm like, no, this is better. And she's like, no, listen to me. And I'm like, all right, I'm listening. I'm like, and then Nino's chiming in. And then all of a sudden, we're like all over the place. And then we honed in on something that I didn't see coming that was literally better than anything we've ever done. It was awesome. Just the design, just the way we put it together.
Was it because of everyone was kind of...
100%.
Got it.
If we didn't have that interaction and I flew out there by myself, still would have been fantastic.
Got it. Yeah. Because you had that 40 years, but this is a new elevation.
It was just a little bit different.
Wow.
We just took it to that next level. And so that's what we're doing. We're coming out. So they could either fly us out. Yep. Again, we do the design, hand off the design. Then if they want to, we can enhance it with a 3D rendering, which you don't have to have. But some people do like that because then they could really give their local contractor literally a picture of what they want the basement to look like done. But they don't
have you ever done a design and a contractor messed it up and then you had to kind of talk to, or do you talk to the contractor once you give the, how does that work? That's
another service that they could add on where they could add on where, hey, we want you involved with our contractor answering his questions, kind of like on an a la carte basis.
Yeah.
And again, crazy affordable. Like I'm just jumping on a FaceTime with a guy for 5 minutes. No big deal. Most of the time I'm not even charging him.
Now I can tell you live in abundance, so you don't care about it. If someone's, but now all of a sudden a contractor could take your ability to do it and go to 3 other 4 people.
Well, that's why I'm charging for that design. So what used to happen when I started when I shifted from that commercial business doing $15 million a year to the basements.
Yeah.
It goes back to what we talked about with COVID. My oldest, who's 35, was just going into high school. Yep. And I didn't really know her because that business ran my life. And that was the biggest motivator to make that switch.
Wow.
Because I said, I need to do something else because the money's not worth it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the richest guy in the graveyard. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
And it was going to kill me. Yeah. So, but by knowing more her better and other kids better,
and were you just spending more time? Is that what it was?
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Then it became the kids were first and their sports and their events and all that was before work.
Got it.
It was a tough transition, but But anyhow,
And your wife was probably demanding that at some point, right? Like, was it a
no.
family decision, or was
yeah.
it,
So yeah, but it was really more like
you felt like it was?
I was going to be
Got
dead
it.
if
Yeah.
I kept doing
You
what I
didn't
was
like
doing.
that path.
The stress was unbearable.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good.
It's amazing.
You know.
Wow.
But my we're back again.
Yep.
But because I was doing 15 million a year, when I started doing 5 basements and my competitors doing 5 basements, going, oh my God, I can't keep up. This driving me crazy. I'm doing 5. I'm standing there going, dude, what are you talking about? We're only doing 5 basements, man.
So what was that?
To me, it was like a joke.
What? But why? Because you
I
were
was
so deep in commercial that this was like taking the sand off.
Well,
you.
I'm doing 15 million a year.
Yep.
My payroll is 60,000 a week.
Wow.
And I got 150 employees, and the stress level is here. Now all of a sudden I'm doing 5 basements, and I'm going like, all right,
payroll.
It's 10 a.m.
Yeah.
What do I do for the rest of the day?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, this is bull, man. I could scale this to 30. I remember said my goal is 30. I want 30 basements to be at once.
Did you do that?
I did, of course.
Awesome.
And hit that goal, and that was my short-term goal.
Yeah.
And immediately said, I think we could do 50 because I'm doing this. Every customer's happy. It's going great.
Yeah.
And now I started thinking, wow, if I can get to the point where I got 80 going at one time, right?
Yeah.
And when I said this to people, so you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even a thought?
Amazing.
There's no way you can make 80 customers happy at once.
At the same time, yeah.
It was actually, when I got there, it was a better experience for those customers than when I was doing 10 at a time. Because now they had that specialty.
Yep.
Now they had a project manager. They were getting so much more for their money.
Value.
It was crazy
Yeah.
when you think back about it.
So, thank you, by the way. So, how long have you been doing basements? Is it 40 years?
So,
or is it 30? You've been in the business for 40 years.
So yes and no. Been in the business for 40 years, and my side hustle was always basements.
Got it. So when did it start elevating though?
So
when did you leave the commercial? Like 15,
20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's when you started going berserk with basements.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So if you look at are you like known as the basement guy here in New Jersey? Like
Pretty
how
much.
did you get on Gary's show? I forget. I think you said somebody.
It's weird for me, man. When I'm out, people recognize me a lot.
Really?
I was online at Starbucks a couple weeks ago. Whatever. I'm on the line, and it was one of those deals where you merge, and I let the guy go, and not to get a coffee, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I let him merge. No big deal, right? And I get to the window, and the lady goes, "Oh, yours paid for." I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, yeah, the guy in front of you said he was one of your biggest fans.
You're a celebrity.
And he bought my, my eggs, whatever it was,
Wow. That's awesome.
And I was like, wow, what was his name? I want to thank him. You know what I mean? But he didn't say anything. But it happens to me all the time. Like,
you were a celebrity before Gary Vee show then?
Oh, yeah. No, the Gary Vee thing just happened.
Okay, yeah. So, all right.
Yeah.
So you were already like known through your social media.
Yeah, a lot of people, I get that a lot where I'm walking in and people recognize me.
Would you do like a Netflix show?
Yeah, you know what?
Netflix is open right around the corner over here.
So yeah, it's so funny, man. We actually just filmed a pilot.
Did you know that? That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we just
so
filmed the
he
pilot.
didn't give any. I just want you to know that I'm just guessing. Like that's a phenomenal thing.
Yeah, so we've been hit up a lot from different people that wanted to do stuff with us, and we kind of just kept pushing it aside. Finally, we found somebody we really liked that felt like they can really understood what we were trying to do, and they really focused a lot on our secret doors. Because that's one of our specialties.
What you mean in the basement? You have secret
Yeah, all the time.
for like where the safe is and
a lot of different motivation for making the hidden
or
doors
like to
and secret
protect
doors.
people from bad people coming in.
Both.
Got it.
Or it could just be, let's say you have 3 furnaces on this wall and a water service, and all of a sudden everybody else is gonna build that basement, and there's gonna be door. It's a pretty ugly wall, right?
Yeah.
So we said, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
So let's make that wall a beautiful decorative trim wall, but let's make that trim open. So now, the motivation was just trying to take the basement to the next level.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, hey, I seen that cool door you did. Can you give me one of them? But I want to put a safe behind it.
Wow.
Or I want to put my guns behind it. Or I want to make a safe room for my wife or my kids. So it elevated, and now it became a big thing for us. And
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, actually.
Now, when you do basements, is there a certain yes or no? Is it based on size? Like, do you do anyone's basement or like what is that? Okay,
Anyone,
so it's
any
not.
size.
It's not the $1 million or the 100,000, whatever fits in that.
No, one of the
Is it
mistakes we were making for a long time on our social media was we were only posting these monster $500,000 basements.
Got
and
it.
then so many people were saying like,
Because a lot of people can't afford that.
well, it's not real. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, most people can't do that, you
Yeah.
know? So then we started posting like these smaller ones that were
They can't
like
run in.
the average person could afford. People were like, wow, I can actually have that. Like,
Yep.
I didn't know you could do that. Now we're not the basement cookie cutter guy.
Yep.
We're still going to be custom, but
Sure.
you can take a small basement and make it really special.
Yeah.
So once we started doing that, we actually got a lot more positive feedback on those designs than we did on the big monster ones.
Amazing.
It was actually interesting. We were not even realizing we were making a mistake.
So if you were to kind of go, okay, where do you want to be? I'm saying, like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Like, what is all this? I get what you're doing, family. You found the perfect replacement, right? Your son and daughter.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 or 10 years?
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
At minimum, all of our hidden doors are going to be sold online, Home Depot, Amazon, Etsy. You're going to be able to buy our hidden doors anywhere.
So wait, you mean a contract with Home Depot?
Not yet, but
okay.
They don't know it yet, but they're going to find out
just
soon.
Let them know.
Yeah, I'm letting them know. I'm putting them on notice right now. I'm coming in, Texas. Actually, my son's got a good connection in there. We'll be there. It's already in the works. We already have, I
love this.
We got an e-commerce website being built right now where we're going to be selling all the hidden doors, all the specialty stuff that we build. So at minimum.
So I'm just because I'm 2 years old, I'm trying to figure out, like, when you say sell hidden doors.
You've been in Home Depot, right? You walk down the aisle.
Yeah, I don't even know what a nail is. I'm that guy.
You walk down the aisle, you see the doors, right? They have these doors and they're pre-made.
Yes.
You throw one of them on your cart, you bring it home. My door is going to be sitting next to them.
So you have a specifically designed door.
So, but when that homeowner takes that home and installs my door, you're not going to know there was a door installed.
Wow.
It's hidden. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So that's in its works right now. So that's happening.
What made you think of that?
Just evolved over time. When I started in this business, we weren't building hidden doors.
Did you get that from the multiverse? Or was
No, but I'm
Snoop
bringing
give
it
it to you?
there.
Did
No,
Snoop give it to you in the metaverse?
In the metaverse. No, but that's the difference between us when we're designing a basement. So that's what's happening now. But what's happening tomorrow? I can't even tell you because I didn't think of it yet.
I love that. Do people constantly call you to come work for you?
Oh yeah,
We do you accept that?
100%.
How does that work?
I get people hit me up all the time. Like, I follow your page.
Do you respond yourself? Or you?
Whenever I can.
I love
it. But I do have a guy, social media director, does a fantastic job, really great. And he'll respond to everybody, and then he'll connect me with people. Hey, Pat, this guy, he just started a business. He's in Wyoming. He's doing some basements. You want to mentor him a little bit and help him out. And I'll literally get on the phone with him and call him at night after dust settles. What are you doing? How you doing it? What can I do better? Literally,
you just love that, right?
I actually love doing that.
You want to be able to help people.
But really, what I want him to come back to me and say, "Hey, I'm now doing this and I'm now doing that."
Celebrate success.
To me, that's great. I get the goosebumps just thinking about it.
I love that. I
Yeah.
do. How often is your social media director like contacting you about people that are like? Is that like an everyday thing?
Almost every day.
Yeah.
He's just telling me about this or telling me about that because one of his jobs is to make sure he responds to every DM that we get.
Yeah. And is it a custom response? Is it like?
Oh no. Everything is.
You have it.
There's no copy and paste.
Got it.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of misspelled words. Like, it's usually me talking into the phone while I'm driving.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But
do
it's
the best
real.
you can. Yeah.
It's real.
So 10 years, you already got your game plan.
I'll be designing, like, we're starting to get more celebrity basements and more high end.
So, yeah, okay.
And we're working with designers where they're coming in. We're doing an amazing basement for Vanessa De Leon right now.
Wow.
She's a great designer, and we're collaborating together. Her design's fantastic. So when we talk about design, right? I'm designing the basement, where everything's going, how it goes, what happens. But then her or someone like her is designing what's the fabric, what's the color, what's the tile color, putting all that together. That's not me.
Yeah.
I could do that, but I'm the structural designer.
And you're just getting the more and more people are coming to you now, more famous people and everybody else.
We're getting
that heard about how good you are.
Yeah.
What's the biggest basement you ever did, or the most expensive?
So check this out. We just started a 7,000 square foot basement.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
what the hell's in there?
It's crazy. I posted a video the day Nino and I went there to design it. There's 2 back entrances to the backyard, and right now there's nothing in it. We're just starting it. We're putting a bowling alley, movie theater. We're putting a nightclub. It's going to be sick.
A nightclub.
Well, so it's my second basement for these people. I did about 3,000 square foot basement for them about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they bought this house, and they called me the day they bought it, all excited. They're like, "When you see our basement?" I'm like, yeah, I'll be up there. And I walked in, I was like, wow, I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah.
And so it was great, right? The day I posted the video, I walk in with my camera, and I'm like, "Hey, we're about to do a design," and Nino's at the other end, and
it's like a football field.
Couldn't even see him.
Wow.
I needed like a chipping wedge to like
get. Wow.
And I just zoomed in. I'm like, check out the size of this basement. So that one's permitted right now.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's like a major project. Is that like
it's going to be a pretty big.
Got it.
So that's probably the biggest one. But big doesn't mean expensive.
Understood.
And expensive doesn't mean good, right? It just depends on what you're doing. We do some pretty high-end stuff.
High-end material, this, that,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting, right? We could take, give you an example. We could take 2,500 square foot basement, big basement, right? We could do it for 50,000. I could do it for 500,000.
Got it.
Literally,
Understood.
same amount of square foot.
Yeah.
Depends on what you want. You know?
Same time frame?
No.
Okay, so,
No. You're talking about it. You're talking about a completely different high-end custom product rather than
meaning you're spending more time there.
Oh, absolutely.
Even after the approvals and everything else.
Yeah, you're just building a completely different product.
Yeah. What's your favorite? Well, you've done 4,000. What's your top 3 or 4 favorite ones you've ever done?
God, there's so many. Cool
and have you
things.
done your own? Of course.
I have done my own. Yeah.
Do you like yours?
Yeah, love mine, but mine's dated at this point. So it was so dated, I had to sell the house.
So the one you bought,
I couldn't demo.
Did it have a basement in it?
Oh, it's going to have a basement.
So all right, so you're gonna do it.
So
what are you gonna do with your basement?
Oh my God, please. So I'm actually. It's funny, right?
Does it have a nightclub too, or
I don't know if I'm going to go there. So it's interesting, right? My needs when I built that other basement, I had 4 kids home, and we had different needs, like we talked about, right? And the basement evolved as they grew older, but now it's just me and my wife, and it's going to be grandkids coming back.
Yep.
So we're going to do a completely different theme.
Yep.
That one was very Italian, Tuscany, dark, beautiful, rich. But
wine cellar?
Wine cellar, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't drink. But
Yeah,
we
you
had
got it
that wine
anyway.
cellar, we had a bar.
You got statues in the backyard.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Italian house,
Yeah, I'm Irish.
Everything stucco, Venetian plaster. It was this Guido.
I don't know if you guys understand that out in Texas, but yes.
No, they ain't gonna get that. But this one, totally different.
Water fountains.
Minimalist. This one, yeah, we have that. This one's gonna be modern, clean, minimal.
What does that mean, though? What is modern, clean? Not like just open space?
Yeah, so open space. That basement had molding on top of molding on top of
Oh
molding.
yeah, triple
and it
molding.
was stained and it was
thick.
dark and it was rich.
Yeah.
This is not
pool table that with red top.
Of course, with the claw foot.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good. This one's just going to be different. So,
do you have the gold chains down there too?
Oh, of course.
Like,
It was
the Italian horn.
That's it.
Do you have the old school Italian horn?
I did actually. I might have scrapped that at this point.
It's probably worth a lot more money now.
I know it's pretty.
They
funny,
don't exist.
Right? It's pretty funny when you think about it.
I'm sorry. So open basement. No. It's got to be really cool looking though, right?
Totally. And so the whole idea here is to just do something different, right? And take always. It's not just my basement, but every basement. It's like I'm always challenging myself, saying, what have people come in and say, like, what's the next thing? What can I do? And I get that a lot from people because they know that's what we think. I'm at the front door and they're like, hey, listen, I just want something different, man. I don't want it to look like anybody else's. Give me something different. I had somebody challenge me. This is a few years back. Never forget it. I'm at the front door. The guy said, I want something different. He had 2 little kids. And his wife was pregnant with twins. So they're going to have little kids for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, I want you to do something different, something you've never done. And I want to really focus on the kids. I'm not going to be in this house for 20 years, but I know I'm going to be here for the next 7 years while the kids are young. I want to make it fun. And I'm not even across this threshold yet. And I said, I got an idea for you. How about if I take your living room right here, I create a fake fireplace with a hidden door. You open up what you think is the fireplace, and I'm going to have a slide going into the basement, into the kids' playroom. He goes, you think you could do that? I said, I don't know. Well, let me walk in and find out.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes later, I go, I could do it.
And was it really good?
Unbelievable.
Wow.
My first viral video.
Really?
Me going down the slide through the fake fireplace.
No one does that, right?
That's including me.
Yeah, like that's
including me. I never did
and
it.
And you thought of it right then and there?
He put me on the spot, and that's what I came up with.
And did he love it? Like,
oh yeah,
like forever. Like
at first, I was like, after I opened my mouth, I'm like, shit, you better freaking do this.
Yeah.
But I always say, if I can't do it, it can't be done.
Wow.
It's just that simple.
Wow. Amazing.
So we did it. It went viral, but I still think like that to this day. I'm trying to push that envelope every day.
Yeah, tell everybody why. Why is that important? Like the way it sounds like it's a critical thing, and you ask yourself empowering questions on how to get better and always improve.
Well, let's be honest, right? Anybody can build a basement, right?
I can't.
Any construction company, any carpenter, right? It's not that hard, but it's really hard to do it right. And
what does that mean?
So you know how many times I have brought into basements where the basement's beautiful, craftsmanship's amazing, and the reason the customers are bringing me down there is because they're watching my videos and going, I don't feel like my basement flows like the ones I'm seeing on yours. What can you do to change? And I can immediately figure out what they did wrong. And I'll say, listen, this guy did a fantastic job. The craftsmanship's great. He's just a great carpenter. You hired the right guy, but you made the biggest mistake you made is step one, the wrong design.
So what I'm hearing is the right hand a lot of times is not speaking to the left hand.
Yep.
And one of your superpowers is you have a subject matter specific expert in framing.
That's right.
In this, in that, in this, and that, and it creates a much better coordination and integration.
That's a big part of it. The other
Can
part.
I play on the TV show what I just said?
Let's do it.
That was really good.
Yeah, I like it.
Whoever said it
Can
that
I use
way.
that?
Yes. I'd like to come on and say it though. Anyway.
But the real key is step one,
Yeah.
the design.
Yep.
That's where everybody makes a mistake.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing different.
Yep.
So
Well, listen, we talk about your basement and we talk about how you go design specific and you really coordinate. Is there a lot of glass or like a lot of mirror stuff or a lot of like, you ever see where there's a glass and you can fill smoke in it and no one can see on the other side of it? Do you do stuff like that?
So it's different right now. So they just came out with this product called Smart Glass, and I'm incorporating that a lot now. And what it is it's actual piece of glass. Think of like a frameless shower, right? Everybody sees that piece of glass. Pretty expensive. But now they're filling that with gas, and you actually charge it.
Okay.
And when it's charged, it'll smoke or tint.
And
And when it's not, it's crystal clear.
Now, is it hard to maintain that as a
There's no
basement
maintenance.
owner?
No, there's no maintenance.
Really?
No, it's literally a piece of glass. Just think of any piece of glass, and you hit the button or you turn on the light switch. I'm using it in a bathroom right now in my own house. So my bathroom is gorgeous, so it's all glass.
Got it.
But you're not going to want to get in that shower. But the minute you turn on the light, boom, can't see in it anymore.
That's amazing.
Cool stuff.
A lot of
I didn't
people-
invent it,
Are
but
people doing
I'm
that, though?
incorporating it. I'm just starting to
Got
incorporate
it.
it.
Heated floors too, all that other
Yeah,
stuff?
that's a
Saunas
no-brainer.
and hot, like, do you do no hot tubs in the basement, right?
We're doing one right now, actually, and we do a lot of steam rooms. So a lot of times what we're doing is if somebody has a pool in their backyard, we'll incorporate an entrance from the basement to the backyard in almost all of our designs.
Even if it doesn't exist?
Oh, that's what we're
Like
known
you'll
for.
blow a hole in the
100%.
house. Okay.
Because now what we're doing is we're creating a cabana or a spa in the basement
Yeah.
for the backyard for 4 months a year in Jersey,
Well, yep,
right?
yep.
And 12 months a year you get to use it for the basement.
Yep.
So it's the best of both worlds.
Yep.
So
Good resale, right?
Oh, 100%. And we start getting into all that. I actually just told my social media guy to start reaching out to realtors because I want to get into one of their conventions. I think they could be one of my big lead generators too because they're obviously selling houses. So that's my motivation to get in front of them. Yeah. But I could help them more than they think I can.
Yes.
With resale. And I know like I can help the ROI. ROI in a basement is the highest ROI of any construction in a home.
Yeah. Better than
the kitchen. Better than the kitchen.
Wow.
Forbes magazine did a study a few years back about all that. But anyhow, when the basement's done right, and I swear to you, this morning on my way here, I was on the phone with a guy that sold his home, and I finished his basement, and he just bought a new home, and he wants me to come out and design his basement. My first appointment is always a FaceTime.
Yeah.
Always virtual.
You won't
always.
go. Yeah.
So born from COVID,
But
right?
you want to see the face. Is that the point? Or
Yeah.
you
No.
could-
Well, here's how it was born, right?
Got it.
COVID came around, and all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What's
Sorry. No, I'll ask that in a second.
No, all of a sudden, like I'm doing 6 appointments a day. I'm visiting and doing
And you
estimates.
weren't?
No, nobody wanted me in the house. Everybody was scared.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So
Were you
first-
actually busy during COVID?
So here's what happened. The first thing I did was I said, this ain't going to work for me.
Yeah.
So I went on all my social media platforms. I said, free estimates. Everybody's sitting home. You're home. Hit me up right now. You hit me up right now. You flip around your camera, walk me through your basement. 15 minutes later, I'm going to have an estimate there. You can do what you want with it, but you're going to have an estimate. So all of a sudden, from me being able to do 4 estimates in New Jersey where I got to drive here and drive there and drive there, now I'm doing 12 estimates a day. And guess what? They're getting the exact same experience, except I'm not there shaking their hand.
And you have to drive.
And I have to drive. Now it also gets rid of a lot of tire kickers that don't really know what a basement's supposed to cost.
Yep.
So I always start. So now, because of that, we got real busy because now I just did. And normally, if I did 100 estimates, now I just did 500.
Jesus.
So now we got super busy.
And real estate took off.
And then people said, well, we're still sketchy. We don't want you in the house.
Yeah.
And now they're not spending money on vacation. They're not spending money going
Savings
away.
accounts.
Savings are going up.
Interest rates.
Guess what? I need a home gym. I need a home school.
boy.
I need a home office. Now all of
perfect
a sudden, perfect storm. But I'm still afraid for you to come in the house. Don't worry about it. Buy this walkout entrance into your basement, and you'll never see us. Come in, knock the wall down,
And that was part of it?
Make my whole entrance.
Did you ever have that before, a walk-in?
We
Was
did
that
them.
something
We
you
did
innovated?
them. No, yeah, totally. We've done them, but then that also skyrocketed. By the way, I make no money on those.
Yeah.
But guess what? I got a sale of another basement, and they got something fantastic because they got this very expensive walkout entrance at cost.
Yes.
Right? Their basement just became so much better.
Yeah.
And then I now have a job, and now they don't have to worry about getting COVID. They're upstairs, and we're doing basements.
So when you do basements, like right now, we know interest rates are getting higher, right? Yep. We know values are going down. So people maybe were borrowing from houses and stuff like that. Is there a different strategy when it comes to getting basements done that you have to incorporate now that you didn't have to incorporate 2 or 3 years ago?
So we're always...
Or is it just really based on, people can't afford it right now?
We're always moving and shaking. Right now, I haven't seen any setback whatsoever yet. The people who want this done are getting it done.
Got it.
The benefit that we have now, let's say homeowners going to buy a house and they need a 4,000 square foot house, but they can't afford a 4,000 square foot house.
Yep.
So they're like, all right, we can only afford this, I don't know, 2,500 square foot house.
Yep.
So now they're like, all right, we got to put an addition on. They want a 1,000 square foot addition, and all of a sudden they're realizing that's 300,000. I give them that same 1,000 square feet for 100,000 for a third of the addition.
Got it.
So now instead of them spending that money on that 4,000 square foot house,
Got it.
kind of they're getting
in the basement.
They're getting something even nicer because now they're getting a 2022 model rather than buying a 4,000 square foot house that might be 20 years old.
Totally get it.
So they're actually doing better by buying that smaller house with a basement and letting me come in and do my thing.
And plus your reputation is what it is, and the ability to get so many different leads right now. Even if there's people that are in your business that don't have not only your skill set but your business mindset, they're not going to get those opportunities that you're getting.
Right.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Well, listen, I'm so grateful that you came on today. I would love another one in the future.
This was great.
This was unbelievable for me. I learned so much. Whenever I sit down with folks that really have a high level of success and I hear certain things, and what I heard was constant innovation. What I heard was sometimes you give without any expectation except for gratitude. And sometimes, you had to kind of play a game early on when it came to the credit cards and family first when it was all said and done, and seeing your kids being able to kind of step into this business. That's what this is all about. That's why we're here, right? That's why we're doing what we're doing.
I agree.
And for you, it just seems like you're always constantly innovating and looking to move forward and be able to develop new strategies. And for all the folks that listen to our videos and spend time with us, I think that at the end of the day, it's about serving others first, contribution and growth, which then leads back to an unbelievable experience. And I believe one of your things is you created an unbelievable experience for people.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm proud of. I want them to just be. I've had people when I hand the keys over to the basement literally cry and say, "You made my dream come true."
That's amazing.
You know how good that feels? That feels so much better than the money.
Yes,
so much better.
The money you just use, I'm feeling that you're just using it for your business and to really be able to impact other people.
100%.
It's not like a selfish thing. Like let me go make money or get money. It's more about being able to serve.
So I'm driven by like just being successful and doing this, and the money just comes as it's a consequence of doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on here, brother.
Hey,
I look forward to the next time.
Appreciate everything. Thank you.
Wow, unbelievable experience.
Appreciate you having me.
I got everything out of this conversation. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm super grateful.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.